Welcome to Tweet of the Week, the show where we highlight some of the amazing things our students and staff are doing through their social media. Today, we are joined by two very special guests. We are joined by Lauren Graziano and Sydney Katz, both from Oakdale High School, from the 10th grade honors English class. So, Lauren, you sent out an awesome tweet. Can you tell us about what you tweeted?
I tweeted a couple pictures, one including Sydney, for a Beowulf broadcasting project that we did in the beginning of our unit. And we pretty much take a scene or a couple scenes from the text and make it into an actual broadcast, like we're having a conversation, like an interview. And the kids focus a lot on characterization, the plot of it, and they get to kind of tweak the plot slightly and create their characterization a little differently. They come up with a skit for it, and then they video record it however they'd like. Some use different apps, some use WeVideo, some use iMovie. And they get to have fun with it and use props, and they get really into the story a little differently than we normally would.
Now, Beowulf, that's a pretty difficult text.
Yes.
So you're doing some interesting and creative things with that, and the students, they enjoy that?
Yes. When we have medieval lit, we have to come up with a couple different ways to kind of make it really engaging. And I think to have kids take a moment and take some complex language and make it into a sit-down conversation, like as if they were Diane Keurig or something like that. It's really cool to see because they look at it a different way when they're interviewing someone or interviewing a Dane from back in Viking age. So it's kind of cool to see.
So Sydney, you were a major award winner as part of this project. Tell us about what you did. What was your project all about?
So our project, we kind of highlighted the entire story of Beowulf. We did different interviews with the major characters during the whole story. We created a character, Grendel's mom. I played Grendelina. She was a major character. We had a lot of fun with it, you know, dressing up, using different internet apps to kind of edit our videos. We actually had our foreign exchange students part of our movie when they were there. So it's a really fun experience. And
so am I understanding, though, that you made Grendel funny?
Yeah.
How did that work? Come on.
Well, Miss G has a lot of props, and you know, we just try to manipulate the lines and our acting skills, trying to take a different point of view on the story to help people better understand it, because we think comedy is an easier way for people to understand the story.
So as you were dealing with the text, it is a difficult text. Yeah. Did you find that doing this project and having to do all the steps that you did to produce this film that you made, do you think that actually helped you learn the text more and understand it better?
Absolutely, because as we were making it, we were also reading through the book, and we were like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now, because we turn it into like an interview, like a sit-down interview with Grendel, which is like the main monster in the story, and it makes it a lot easier to understand like his point of view, why he was attacking everybody, and just it makes it a lot easier for us to understand.
So tell me about this approach to teaching, because this might seem a little different than, you know, when I went to school, or, you know, we didn't quite do that kind of thing. So what are you doing in your classroom that's so different?
I think my main objective was to make it as creative as possible, because it is hard to read a lot of epic poetry in general, and in 10th grade a lot of it is epic poetry, and something as complex as that, I thought we could maybe turn it into a different way to approach the instruction. So they are analyzing still, they're still doing close readings, they're still looking for characterization and plot, but yet they're taking the technology element and it's more student directed. Like it's a little kind of intimidating to stop and let them all kind of direct their own videos. We have quite a bit of Steven Spielberg's in there, and they get really into it and they kind of get lost in that creative element. And all of my students have Chromebooks, so we are one-to-one, but we also kind of implement blended learning. So the kids have a lot more freedom in how they're directing certain lessons or certain units. And I think with this particular lesson, it's really kind of rewarding for them to create something that they're using all these skills and all these assets for. And then we have an Oscars party afterwards where they kind of vote as a group. So we watch all of the different skits, all the different films, we vote on different videos, different prop usage, special effects, actors, actresses, bloopers, and best scene, and they get to really kind of celebrate that, which I think is empowering to see how they're learning that way.
Now, Sydney, did you have an acceptance speech prepared for your award?
I did. I had to, you know.
Of course.
Winning
right.
Best Movie.
So what's next on the list? Do you have another major project planned? Anything coming up?
We actually did, I'm out of the class right now, it was last semester, but we actually did another project where we took Macbeth and we turned it into a different movie. So we turned it into Mean Girls. So it was Mean Girls using Shakespearean language, which was another really fun project that we got to do.
Well, it sounds like there are some fun things going on at Oakdale High. We'll have to check it out. Thank you both for joining me today. And thank you for joining me on this week's edition of Tweet of the Week. Check us out again next week with more awesome tweets from our students and staff.